Hey, this is Reverend Sean again over at Center Path, and we're going to go over this one here, Upekkha. Upekkha means equanimity. This is probably one of the most complex and hardest things to put into practice for becoming Buddhist, right? We're becoming Buddhist by action. That means karma. So we're changing the way things work, and we're changing the way we deal with the world. And we've gone through what are called the Brahma Viharas. There's 4 Brahma Viharas. It's going to be metta, which is loving kindness, karuna, which is compassion, sympathetic joy, which is mudita, and now we have the last part, which is upekkha. Equanimity is what that means. Now that one, we practice it quite a bit if you're doing mindfulness meditation, right? You're doing shamatha, you're doing vipassana. You're actually starting to, or even zazen, right? You're sitting, you're just like sitting. It's actually letting go, a balanced, calm mind. We're letting go of the thoughts that arise, the disruptions that arise, and and also the benefits that arise. We're not getting too attached and excited that we're doing well. We notice that our breathing is deeper. Oh boy. But then we say, oh, we notice it and we let it go because we're trying to stay in this moment. Really, that's what we're talking about here, is a balanced, calm mind. The difficulty in it is to do it every day, all day, because there's a lot of stuff that can make you pretty excited. There's a lot of stuff that can make you pretty upset. If you have ice cream, for example, you love ice cream. Ice cream's so good, and it's so cool, and it's so nice, and it's so sweet. And we want it to last forever. But we have to understand that it doesn't. So we don't flip out when it's gone. We enjoyed it while we were enjoying it, right? Same thing, opposite side. I have a thorn in my shoe, or I have a health problem, or something is annoying me. It's not going to last forever, right? I can let go of it. I can come back to what I'm doing. In my classes I teach at a psychiatric hospital, and I do teach at a high school. I don't teach much of the mindfulness and meditation at this point. But I teach those things for mental resilience and mental health. And we used to have in my office, I used to have meditation 3 times a week. And we would have that meditation, and next door to us, right on the other side of the wall, was a tattoo parlor. And that tattoo parlor loved their music, and they had very lively discussions and stuff like that. And it was fun. It was great having them as neighbors. I actually missed them. But I would always forget to tell them, hey, we're having meditation class. And when I did remember, sometimes they would forget while they were in there, and things would get loud. And it just became a thing. And so that was one of the things we practice in meditation is noticing or allowing that disruption to arise, and then practicing to let it go, to come back to the breath, come back to where we were. And it was something that you practice by doing, right? You can't just read about it. You're going to practice. Now, we talk about just the breath or the mind. This was sounds next door. Sometimes it was music. And if you knew the music, you'd start bopping along. And that was always more challenging. But if it was other music you didn't know, it was easier to let go. Now, here's the weird part. Once time went on, they actually expanded into a new building and a bigger place, and they were gone for months. There was no one there. And so next door was completely dead quiet. And most of the people who were meditating with me, and me too, noticed that we had a harder time because now it was silent. There was nothing to let go of. It was all us. So then we had to change our practice again and be able to release attachment and release the anxiety and release the love of having peace, or the hatred of having noises or something like that. So this is one of the 4 Brahma Viharas, and this is part 4 of the Brahma Viharas. Remember, the Brahma Viharas are the divine abodes, or the like sublime, kind of like, think of it like a place to be, like a mental or a spiritual place to be, right? And this is one of the 4. The 4 being metta, which is loving kindness. We practice loving kindness by sitting and wishing goodwill. And then we have karuna, which is action-based more, and that one is compassion. So we have compassionate action and compassionate reactions to things. And we have mudita, which is sympathetic joy, being excited for others and their benefits, and whatever's working for everybody, good. It's the same thing as like we can be very upset with the rain. We had something we wanted to do. We were upset with the rain, but we then realized that the rain is what moistens the soil and helps the plants grow, right? Brings fresh water. those kind of things. Balance, calm, free mind is another step of that, really. It's a deeper step in there. And we're being able to not be so prejudiced and so choosy about things. Many times when you have something, it may not be the best food that you have, but it's food that you have. And we also develop our understanding of there's people who don't have food. There's animals who don't have food, have to fight very hard to get their food, or they have to kill to get their food, right? Or they have to die to get their food, whatever it is. And those kind of things we want to work on, right? So this is Reverend Sean over the Center Path. Just want to do a quick 5-minute part on this one. Don't forget, you can go right here and see the next video, or you can go right here and you can subscribe to the this YouTube channel. And you can also go online to thecenterpath.org and you can look up more there. It's a basic site. I have some freebies that you can download with some information. And you can get in contact with me. Contact me in the comments. Okay? And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take good care of yourselves. And don't forget, if you want to become a Buddhist, we do it through action, right? You can do it the other ways too that I talked about in the other videos, but action is really a good way to do it as well. Take care.